Thank you again for joining me here at the Crown of Command Games to witness another classic Jervis Johnson production in Adeptus Titanicus, but this time using the White Dwarf supplement Codex Titanicus to bring the advanced rules to the game today. Thank you for all your comments and feedback on the very first battle report we played, as it looked at the rules that came just out of the box. We hope this game today brings all the nostalgic flavour of playing gigantic robots battling over a cityscape, with the forces of the Imperium facing off against the traitors, led by none other than Warmaster Horus. The advanced rules of Adeptus Titanicus included a new close combat system using cards, and also a detailed damage system as you slowly blow off weapons and armour of your enemy titans. Damage is also recorded on player handouts, which also allows you to customise your titan weapon loadouts as the models represented in your collection. The damage tables are vast and numerous, and this aspect gives that some extra granularity to the game. Another feature for the advanced rules that really interested me was the secret objectives we both had to randomly determine before the game began, and that we would keep secret and reveal at the end to determine the victory points and who won the battle. And as we're playing different Titan classes this time round, we had a Titan record sheet for each individual Titan that you would have to update your damage and other information as you played. Another surprise to the advanced rules was a roll to determine how many re-rolls each Titan got before starting the game. This allowed you to either re-roll one of your own rolls or that of your opponent. I chose the Imperium, and my Warhounds Alta and Kronos had twin multi-melters and autocannons respectively. Warlord Meleus had two las cannons mounted on his carapace along with a power fist and defense laser. My Reaver Titan Xanos was armed with a las cannon, power fist and multi-laser. Max didn't name his titans, as is customary for traitors of the Imperium, so in doing so he damned all of them to misfortune. But as you can see, Max's titans, like mine, are armed as the models, as Max had an entire miniature case filled with titans with all different weapon loadouts to choose from. And with the Titans now all fitted out with their weapons of destruction, it was time to see what secret objective they would have to fulfill in the game, which we will reveal at the end of turn 6. And as Max was the attacker, he could deploy up to 24 centimeters from the board edge. I, on the other hand, had to deploy with my Titans hugging the backline with a mere 6 centimeters. With our Titans all deployed, it was time to place our orders for each Titan and have the Imperial player to start the first turn. Activations in the game of Adeptus Titanicus have a very strict order, starting with the active player moving his first Titan with charge orders, and then alternating back to his opponent. I chose to activate my Warhounds as they are very fast and agile, moving 36 centimeters on the charge orders and 24 centimeters on advance orders, making them perfect flanking Titans to swoop in around the sides or even behind in enemy lines. You also use a very special turning template that allows your Titans to turn during their movement. Each class of Titan has a very specific amount of turns you can make, with the Agile Warhounds being able to turn multiple times, compared to the Warlord only a few, depending of course on which order they chose. After charge orders, we now move any Titans on advance orders, starting with the player with the turn initiative. And the immediate difference of having a group of Titans compared to our first game with a single Titan really felt more tactical, in that I could try to counter my opponent's moves. This is where the Adeptus Titanicus system shines for me the most, as it is unique to Epic systems, and it's also unique to Games Workshop systems, and for the same reason why I like Man of War. The weapon systems on Titans are different than those in 2nd edition, so I had a chart close at hand to keep up with all the ranges and to hit rolls. Void shields work the same though, with each Titan class having a defined number of void shields that are also repairable in the repair phase of the game, which is conducted before the shooting phase, which gives your Titans the chance to repair itself before the fighting begins, which is another great design choice. Turn 2 began with Max's Traitor Titans taking the initiative this time and activating his first Titan on charge orders. I could see early that his plan was to have both his Warhounds flank me with the forest and buildings under their protection. As I didn't have any Titans on charge this turn, Max activated his Reaver on advance orders to come in the rear of the Warhounds to give long range support. I, on the other hand, was already on the back foot, so I tried to position myself the best way I could to better prepared for his aggressive assault on the left flank. Max's slow lumbering Warlord, though being far less manoeuvrable, stayed back in cover of the buildings to get off some long range salvos of its macro cannons and multi-launchers, which thankfully were not in line of sight just yet. My Reaver Titan was able to draw a bead on the Traitor Reaver, so I opened up with shots from the las cannons and multi-lasers, but not being able to hit given that the target was holed down in cover behind the forest. We ended the turn and Max handed me back the initiative for turn 3. Both Imperial and Traitor Titan in turn took their movements, starting from charge orders to advance orders, and leaving all other Titans on first fire to remain stationary until the combat phase. After that, repair rolls were made, with Titans able to repair damaged void shields or parts of their Titans that were damaged in previous rounds. With all that out of the way, we could then concentrate on the good stuff with the Imperial player, with initiative tearing shots into the traitor Reaver with its multi-laser, resulting with only one shield stripped. My second Warhound just falling short with its plasma cannons in range, much to Max's relief. Max's Warlord was in range of my Warlord, stripping it of its 2 shields with 2 successful hits. Max's Reaver replied with 2 successive hits on my plasma cannon Warhound, leaving it defenseless. A new turn and new orders saw the traitors take the first activation, with the Reaver making a surprise charge into my now shieldless Warhound. And we will use the new combat system introduced in White Dwarf 111, which included cards that you could select for each Titan in secret before revealing it to your opponent simultaneously. Well, before the combat phase though, we had to alternate our Titans' orders in turn with advance and make any necessary movements to bring them into line of sight of their chosen targets. I could see that the traitor Warhounds would be very difficult for my Warlord and Reaver to deal with, as Max had been quite cunning and caught my Reaver in a pincer movement. After we had rolled to repair void shields, it was time to wage war as we lit up the sky with ferocious firepower that continued to strip shields and cause superficial damage to our metal gods of war. With the success of stripping down the traitor Warlord's Titan to its last remaining shield, the Princeps had the Titan to push its Void Shield generator, which is a new advanced rule that allows the player to try to boost the Void Shield generator by rolling a single die for each incoming shot, and removing it on a roll of 1 to 4. If Max rolls a 5 or a 6, the Void Shield generator is then lost and damaged and cannot be repaired for the rest of the game. And Horus must have been on Max's side as he succeeded in every roll, but my defense laser on my Warlord stripped the final Void Shield as Max opted not to boost it anymore. Max had some joy with his Warhound stripping shields from my Reaver from the rear, and I in return to his Warhound facing me head on. Now we can start the combat phase where our Titans would battle it out in hand-to-hand combat. The 6 cards offer you various attack strategies that must be played in an order of attack, and also contain special rules and notes that must be adhered to. And with each player having chosen and selected a card, it is placed face down and revealed simultaneously. The way that close combat weapons work in Adeptus Titanicus and damage they deal is listed in charts corresponding to the weapons fitted to the Titans.
It does. We need a 4. 3, it's 1. So, criticals, critical damage.
Yep.
So the first critical damage is...
Oh my god!
Reactor damaged.
Yeah.
There's 2, so the 7 legs damaged. 5, 6, 7, 8 right arm.
Each player is responsible for recording damage inflicted to their titans, and if able to, repair those locations in the repair phase. It seemed to me that you had to first damage the reactor and then cause further cumulative damage to that location to see it explode and be destroyed. But it was fun to roll in the critical damage charts though. With turn 4 now underway, it was time to see what orders were to be revealed and what actions our titans would be performing, starting with Max as he had initiative this turn. Another advanced rule we saw was Snapfire, which allowed titans on first fire to take overwatch shots as their enemy titans moved out of cover, which I thought was a nice addition, and saw my Reaver titan take a hail of ammunition as it started closing ground into close combat with one of the Warhounds. As Max activated his Warlord, I thought I'd take the opportunity to make a Snapfire shot with my Warlord, as his Traitor Warlord was out in the open, so it seemed like a prime opportunity to do so. Then I proceeded to open up with every weapon I had to launch, resulting in a number of critical hits that had to be resolved by first finding out where they hit and what damage I caused. Having already managed to damage the legs, and in the final roll to make, it had Max sweating on the results.
Yes.
Okay, what did you do to me? 7
legs
damage. That's cumulative.
Okay, yeah, it is too,
Cumulative.
yeah.
Okay, 4, 5, 6, 7, fall over.
Yep.
He crashes
I
to
love
the
these guys
ground.
now.
As he tried to get to cover, down goes the Warlord. He's off.
Repair rolls were made at this stage, and then the close combat phase was to begin, with us both selecting a card for this titanic duel. With Max selecting all out attack and mine being defend, he got to attack first, but no matter how many hits he landed on my Warhound, he was unable to do any significant damage, which held him there for until the next round. The next close combat saw my Reaver going in with an all-out attack, feeling confident now, seeing that the Traitor Warlord was now piling smoking wreckage, but Max had some handy rerolls to force me to reroll damage inflicted, which could only result in the best of my dice rolling abilities.
Thank you. Yeah, reroll.
Oh, I should have rerolled one
shit.
of mine.
Oh, fuck
That's
yeah.
out of the box. I'm not counting
Okay.
it. Get it in the box.
Oh, you
come
fuck!
on now!
You fuck!
Okay, can you please reroll that?
You bastard.
Yeah.
Oh, you pricks!
Max, now reveling in my madness for rolling ones, had saved his precious Warhound for another turn, but he had used all of his rerolls in the process. I really enjoyed the reroll mechanic, as it gave either yourself or your opponent that second chance to succeed or fail, and let fate decide. And as we came into the sixth turn, it was now or never, and our final chance to succeed in our secret objectives, and also to claim more victory points in destroying our rival titans. Having alternate activations was wonderful, as it gave you the chance to try to save your Titans from impending doom, as in this case I was about to be multi-melted from behind, so I decided to engage in close combat with the Traitor Reaver. Doing so with the advanced rules, all the void shields combined together of all the Titans in close combat, which gave my warlord some added much needed sanctuary. And then we began the repair phase with my Reaver Titan regaining another 2 more shields. After Max had also repaired shields on his Reaver, he decided to do something a little risky and shoot my Warlord at close range. As the Titan Void Shields now group all together in this bubble effect, his 2 hits resulted in both our Void Shields being stripped by 1 each. We began the close combats with my Reaver on his Warhound, and me drawing all out attack, and Max with step back, which was not a good choice for him, as I could smack him one before he could reply.
3 mind impulse unit damaged. Ooh. Damaged and said, so my reactor is damaged. So, so I can't fight back because you attacked before I did.
So you're going to try to repair it next turn?
Yeah, okay. There you go, so reactor damaged.
With the Emperor's Finest now one step closer, it was Max's turn to vent some revenge on my Warhound in the next engagement, which had now 3 Titans involved. And I'll have to admit, the charts and tables are all so old school and crunchy. They gave the game a really detailed and cinematic feel, as pieces of your Titans are torn and blown off in the action. But it was really hard to try to convey that in this battle report today. So, if you want to watch the full game with all the gritty details, you can do so right now on my Patreon. So check out the links in the video description to watch this battle report in its 1 hour and 30 minute duration, plus the duel, which is the first game we played, and also to have Max give you a full in-depth detail about Adeptus Titanicus, with its advanced rules and all the other things you need to know about the game system.
It's gone. 11. Mind impulse unit destroyed.
Ooh. Are we damaged before it now?
So
it's damaged
3,
now,
so it's damaged. So now I do a cognitive. 4, 5, 6, and you'll fry all of the crew. No, they're okay. Last crit.
Okay, come on.
5. Void shield generator destroyed. Becomes reactor damage. Reactor boom.
That last combat wraps up our 6 exciting turns of playing the advanced rules of Adeptus Titanicus, so let's now find out what our secret objectives were and who won on the day.
There we go.
Right, okay, well that's the end of turn 6, so I think we'll call it there.
I think you've won.
What was your mission?
So
scenarios, that's right.
You were 3.
Objectives. I'm 3, War of Attrition.
Score is twice as many victory points as your opponent. Score more victory points than your opponent. So you've done, and mine was defensive line. Stop your opponent achieving any of his major victory conditions and score more victory points than your opponent. I don't think I have, because you've got my big guy. So I think you've got a major victory by dropping the...
Right, great game.
That was awesome.
Fantastic, thank you.
Thanks
I really appreciate it, man. It's great. So in closing, I wanted to send a massive thanks to Max for demoing Adeptus Titanicus on the day and giving me 2 exciting games that left me wanting to play it even more. I do love the epic systems that Games Workshop produced during this era more than any other, and it is testament to the excellent games designed by Jervis Johnson and the team behind him that makes Epic still one of the best specialist games they have ever produced. And if you like Horus Heresy, then maybe you'll want to watch an upcoming battle report as I take you back to 1993 to play the Horus Heresy board game, courtesy of Max, which was also developed by Jervis Johnson. So subscribe to the channel to get notified when that eventually drops. I'll also upload the extended versions of battle reports now to my Patreon as early access bonuses to my fantastic patrons that help to produce these videos for your enjoyment. Thanks again for watching, and please leave a comment and like the video if you feel that inclined. Until next time then.